Welcome to Release Readiness Live. I'm Elna Miller, your host for today. We are broadcasting from our home studios this week again to bring you some of the new features from the Winter 21 release. After our product team shares the highlights, we will be spending some time taking your questions live on the air. So we'll be monitoring both the Release Readiness Trailblazers community as well as Twitter. So post your questions as soon as you can and be sure to use the hashtag Salesforce Live. We do recommend you post your longer, more detailed questions in the community so the conversation can continue after the webcast. If we don't get to your question on the air, we'll be sure to follow up with you within a few days. Now, all of our webcasts will be available on the Salesforce Live website for later viewing. Since we may be talking about the roadmap and making some forward-looking statements, please make sure that any purchasing decisions you make are based on currently available functionality. Now, let's get started with Sales Cloud and meet our product managers.
Thank you, Elna. Hi, everyone. I'm Karen Otute, a product manager with the core Sales Cloud team. I'm excited to walk you through some of the new features we have coming out in the Winter 21 release. In opportunity management, we have a new feature called Deal Motion to help sales teams understand the state of their pipeline at a glance. For example, knowing which deals have increased or decreased or moved out or in helps sales managers with their weekly coaching sessions. In the Opportunities List view and Kanban view, colors and arrows indicate amounts and close dates that have changed during the last 7 days. For now, this feature is only available for Unlimited Edition. But don't worry, we're focused on gathering user feedback and will be reevaluating availability for other editions in upcoming releases. Enterprise Territory Management in Salesforce helps your organization to plan, execute, and optimize sales team to customer alignment to achieve better sales performance. Beginning with Winter 21, sales reps and Salesforce admins can manually assign a territory while creating an opportunity. For example, your company sells multiple products, and core sales teams rely on a rep from a specialist territory to manage a new opportunity. You can now assign the specialist territory when creating the opportunity. Forecasting in Salesforce is now more flexible than ever. You can now forecast off any custom measure on the opportunity, such as ACV, MRR, net new subscriber, or a usage metric like megawatts. This feature is in pilot, so if you're interested in trying it out, please reach out to support or your account team. Now, more users can see their forecasts on the go. Mobile forecasting was previously only available for iOS users, and now Android users can review forecasts on mobile as well. And now, forecast users can update stages in the opportunity list without leaving the forecast page. Previously, inline editing was available for other fields, but not for stage. Lightning users can prepare emails and schedule them to reach clients and prospects at the most optimal time by adding a date and time to the list email. Lightning users with an inbox license can also set up meetings with clients and prospects at record speed by sending times they are available. There's no more back and forth emails to land on the best moment to meet. Simply insert availability, and a calendar appointment will automatically be created when the recipient selects their preferred time. Your sales and service teams use Salesforce to manage customer relationships. They also chat in Microsoft Teams to discuss topics relevant to their sales pipeline and service cases. The Teams integration, now in pilot, provides context about Salesforce records from Teams channels and one-on-one chat conversations, eliminating switching between applications. When chatting about a customer, a sales deal, or a service ticket, Lightning users can easily mention CRM records directly in their chats and public Teams channels without having to toggle between the Teams and Salesforce applications. And now, Lightning users can pin a Salesforce record on a Teams channel or chat tab. Chat conversations are fast-paced. A Salesforce record mentioned can quickly get lost amongst a noisy conversation and disappear in the feed. Pinning a Salesforce record to a channel tab allows channel members to collaborate around the record directly from the tab's feed. You can even inline edit the Salesforce record directly from that tab and keep it up to date. The Teams integration is in pilot for the Winter 21 release. To learn more about how to participate, please contact support or your account executive. Let's look ahead to the roadmap. Some of you may have been looking forward to lookups to opportunity product, allowing you to support complex business requirements by extending the opportunity product object. We had planned to release this in the Winter 21 release, but unfortunately needed to remove it from the release due to some trust concerns. We'll be working hard to resolve the issues and deliver this feature in the spring release. We've posted an update on the idea in the Success community if you want to learn more. You all voted in the latest round of prioritization, and we heard you loud and clear. The ability to assign an opportunity to a queue is now on our roadmap and will allow you to more efficiently route opportunities to the next available rep. We'll continue to make forecasting more flexible, with the GA of forecasting based on custom measures such as ACV, MRR, net new subscriber, or usage. And we'll give sales managers and reps the ability to not only review, but adjust forecasts on the go using the Salesforce mobile app. Currently, when you run territory assignment rules, it will run against all accounts and can take a long time for very large orgs. We will be working to bring you filters for territory assignment rules to help improve the usability and performance of the feature. We know that your reps ask you about the ability to categorize emails that they save in Salesforce. So we're working on surfacing the email type pick list in the Outlook integration and Gmail integration to make it easy for reps to indicate the type of emails that they had with their clients and prospects. And lastly, our partnership with Microsoft is producing great outcomes, and we can't wait to make the Salesforce integration for Microsoft Teams generally available. And now, without further ado, let's hop into the demo and see some of these new features in action. First things first, let's start off looking at forecasting. Jennifer is a sales manager, and she wants to be able to forecast based on a custom measure like incremental ACV. Her org has enrolled in the flexible forecasting pilot, and now we see this new option in setup called Custom Measures Pilot. There's a wizard to walk the admin through creating a custom forecast type based on any custom number or currency field on opportunity, such as ACV or a custom usage metric like megawatts. And now, when Jennifer views her forecasts, she has the option to select the custom forecast type for incremental ACV. And as you can see, she can now see her pipeline summarized by that custom ACV field, and she sees the incremental ACV here in the opportunity list. While we're here, let's check out how Jennifer can inline edit the record stage in the opportunity list without leaving the forecast page. Let's go ahead and move this record into the negotiation review stage. Perfect. Now, Jennifer has the high-level view of her pipeline, but she wants to drill down even deeper into the underlying deals. She's about to check in with one of her reps, and she wants to know what's been going on since their last one-on-one. With these new deal motion indicators, Jennifer's eye is drawn right to the deals that have had some recent changes. Red text and arrows indicate amounts that decreased and close dates that were pushed out within the last 7 days. Green text and arrows indicate amounts that increased and close dates that were pulled in within the last 7 days. When Jennifer hovers over the field, she can see just what the change was, including who changed it and when. Jennifer can view these same indicators on the Kanban view. While we're looking at opportunities, let's see how easy it is to assign a territory while you're creating an opportunity. Jennifer is creating a new opportunity for Acme. Jennifer is going to send this one over to the West region. Previously, she would have needed to save the opportunity and then edit it afterward, so this saves her a few steps and a lot of headache. Now let's see how Jennifer's reps can be more productive when sending emails in Lightning. Her reps draft emails at all hours, but they want those messages to hit the customer's inbox at just the right time for optimum visibility. Now they can schedule list emails just like they do for individual emails. I'm going to send a list email to remind my customers of our trade show happening this weekend. But I want it to land on the top of their inbox first thing tomorrow morning. So I'm going to choose Send Later. Then I can pick the perfect date and time for my message to arrive. Scheduled list emails are managed from the List Emails tab. And for reps with an inbox license, it's faster than ever to set up meetings with clients and prospects. Let's say I need to grab some time for a quick phone call with Carol to check up on a deal in progress. There's no more back and forth emails to land on the best time to meet. I can simply select Insert Availability, and I can see the available slots from my synced calendar. I'll select a few options and add them to my email. When she chooses the time that works best for her, a calendar appointment will be created automatically. Now I can get on with the rest of my day. That's it for core sales. Now I'm going to pass it over to Rebecca Lee to talk about what's new with high velocity sales.
Thanks, Karen. Hi, everyone. My name is Rebecca Lee, and I'm one of the product managers behind High Velocity Sales. In the Winter 21 release, we've added more flexibility to HVS and focused on helping you surface the information you need at the right place and the right time. Let's jump right in. You may remember from the summer release that we offered a beta version of Sales Cadence Organization and Sharing, also known as Cadence Folders. In the winter release, this feature is generally available, so you can have different folders for different teams and control access to the cadences inside them. Next up is a feature that lets you change the person who is running a cadence, called the Sales Cadence Assignee. We understand that there are circumstances where one rep starts a cadence, but a different one needs to finish it. This can happen when a rep goes on vacation or transitions to a new team. With the Change Sales Cadence Assignee feature, the handoff between reps is seamless, with no disruption to the flow of the cadence from the buyer's point of view. Another option when a cadence is interrupted is to pause it. Our new pause feature stops the clock on the cadence until the rep resumes it. This is useful if your buyer is on vacation, but you want to reach out once they're back. New steps won't show in the work queue until the cadence is resumed, and tasks won't become overdue while you're waiting. Speaking of vacation, wouldn't it be nice if HVS could proactively tell you if your prospect is out of the office? Now it can with our latest alert type in My Feed. If you're using Einstein Activity Capture, HVS will recognize when you receive an out-of-office message and show an alert in real time, so you can decide if you want to pause the cadence or take other action. You'll also see that the work queue has more flexibility to go along with these new features. Any targets that you pause can be found at the bottom of the work queue, or you can use filters to show them. And now, when you change your filters, they'll stay applied until you log out. One more enhancement to the work queue is our phone number pick list. In the past, only the number in the phone field could be called from the work queue. We've now opened it up so you can choose between the phone number and the mobile number right before you make the call. Next up, you heard from Karen that insert availability is now available in Lightning. This feature can be used with all HVS emails as well, so you can offer up meeting times that are free on your calendar. For reporting, we laid some groundwork in this release to ensure that your HVS engagement metrics are accurate at all times. While engagement data, like email opens, clicks, and replies, may only be stored for a certain period of time, the counts of those engagements are stored forever and aggregated to produce a true all-time count. so you never have to wonder if your metrics are correct. At the same time, we've included unique counts in our engagement metrics. These uniques filter out the noise when the same person opens an email multiple times. Uniques are also available for link clicks and replies. Look for them as you customize your report types. Finally, as HVS grows, we're putting in safeguards to ensure that we can deliver a consistent user experience and level of performance for all of our customers. One of these safeguards is a limit of 1,000 automated emails per user per day, and the other is a limit of 150,000 active cadence trackers per org. Please note that the first limit applies only to automated email sends, and the second limit applies only to active cadence trackers. So your completed cadences do not count against the limit. And with that, let's jump into a demo. As a sales rep, I depend on high-velocity sales cadences to create outreach tasks for me according to my team's established best practices. However, I don't engage with all of my prospective buyers the same way, and I need to be flexible in how and when I engage with them. Let's see how I use HVS to do that. I'm starting a cadence for my new lead, Jennifer, and my first task is to give her a call. I usually only have an office number for my leads, but this time I actually have Jennifer's mobile number too, so I'll call it. Unfortunately, she didn't pick up, so I'll log the call and move on to the next step. My follow-up task is to send her an email. My template loads in the composer, and I hit send. I'm ready to move on to the next buyer in my work queue when I notice a new alert in the My Feed tab. I just got an out-of-office message from Jennifer. I'm supposed to reach out to her again tomorrow, but since she's out of office, I'm going to pause her cadence to stop the clock. I'll resume when she's back next week. A week passes, and Jennifer should be back in the office by now. I have been checking my pause targets regularly right from the bottom of the work queue. I can also filter the work queue to show the targets I want. And now my filters stay in place until I log out. I resume Jennifer's cadence and see that she's due for a call. I call her mobile number again, and this time she picks up. We have a good call and agree to set up a meeting. I let her know that I'll be going on vacation next week, so I will send her some available times for the following week. This cadence automatically ends if we get a call connect, so Jennifer is removed from the cadence, and I will send her the email with my availability right from Salesforce. I skip to the week I am back from vacation and select a few available slots. I'll write her a quick note and send it off. My availability is linked to my Outlook calendar, so when she selects a time, the event will automatically be created. I'm glad HVS let me accommodate Jennifer's time off and also schedule a meeting for a time that's convenient for both of us. But what should I do with my other leads in cadences while I'm on vacation next week? I can hand off my leads to one of my teammates while I'm gone by changing the target assignee. These are all of my leads in cadences, and I want to bulk reassign them to my colleague. I select the ones I want and click Change Target Assignee. Then I select my teammate Victor and click Reassign. Their steps will now appear in Victor's work queue. My leads will be in good hands until I return, and then Victor can assign them back to me if they're still in cadences. Thanks to high velocity sales, I can take time off without leaving my leads hanging or returning to a bunch of overdue tasks. There are two more features that my manager is taking advantage of in the winter release. The first is sales cadence organization and sharing. which is now generally available. She has organized our cadences into folders, and she shares those folders with only the people who need access to those cadences. And finally, she's been updating our engagement reports with the new unique counts for email opens, clicks, and replies. We now have an accurate view of how many people are engaging with our content without the noise of multiple clicks or opens from the same person. And that concludes our demo. Now let's take a look at some of the features on our roadmap. Opportunity attribution is key to figuring out which sales cadences are performing the best when it comes to revenue. You'll soon be able to report on which cadences generated the most opportunities and which closed the most deals. Along with attribution, cadence dispositioning will allow you to capture and report on how your cadences are ending. Were there a lot of successful lead conversions? Was the prospect disqualified or not interested? Or was the customer engaged? Similar to call results, cadence dispositions will help you evaluate your cadences and continue optimizing them. A/B testing is also on the roadmap, so you can try out multiple email templates in a single cadence step and see which ones see the most engagement from prospects. We'll also be surfacing email insights in my feed, so they'll be presented to you right in the work queue. We're also working on bringing you LinkedIn step types integrated right into the Cadence Builder, as well as the ability to deactivate cadences that are no longer in use. Thanks for checking out the new features in high velocity sales and what's on our roadmap. And now I'll pass it on over to Rami to talk about Einstein Call Coaching.
Thanks, Rebecca. Hi, everyone. My name is Rami Sigal, and I'm a Senior Product Manager with the Einstein Sales Product Team. Today, I want to share some of the newest Einstein Call Coaching feature enhancements we made in the Winter 21 release. Let's dive right in. Einstein Call Coaching leverages the voice channel to uncover in-depth insights that come up during sales calls. Insights such as competitor mentions, product mentions, pricing discussions, and follow-up activities. Selling becomes smarter with call coaching. When sales managers gain visibility to these insights, it allows them to steer the sales operation in the right direction. As you might remember, in the Summer 20 release, we introduced the pricing and next steps out-of-the-box insights to detect discussions related to budget and any action items mentioned during the call. In this release, we added two new out-of-the-box insights, challenges and trending. The challenge insight identifies potential barriers that could be put up by the customer that would prevent them from moving forward and completing the next step in the sales process. With challenges, we aim to cover three areas: lack of need, time constraints, and access to decision makers. The trending insight detects emerging topics that were brought up frequently during calls in the last week compared to the previous weeks. Trending can be used for customer research to discover spikes in keyword volume. This allows managers to provide reps with the right information at the right time, improving sales execution. Now let's move to the voice record page. Here, we've added chatter, which allows managers to provide coaching that is relevant to key moments mentioned in the conversation. When a manager adds a chatter post, the rep is immediately notified so that they can review the message and reply. That's a powerful way to create a sense of training, continuity, and relevance by having a live discussion around leads and opportunities. On the other hand, reps can mention their managers and request guidance while referring to a specific instance in a conversation. Managers can listen to real scenarios and capture their notes in one place. Also in this release, you'll see a new option to share a voice call. Now, the manager or the reps themselves can choose to share a call with other team members and colleagues. For example, let's say a manager listened to a call with great feedback from a customer, and they want their other team members to listen to this feedback. They can now share the call with their team or with other team members from the marketing and service departments directly from the voice call record page. This ensures that everyone is aligned and working towards the same goals. Moving on to the dashboard, you can now filter conversations by contact, account, and person account. In the one-on-one meetings, managers and reps can analyze key moments from all the conversations made with a certain customer in the last 30 days in order to better prepare for the next customer call. And to make listening to calls even more efficient, we've added the option to listen to playbacks faster, get access to the customer record, and see the actual custom keyword from any custom insight group directly from the player page. Finally, before we jump into a demo, I'd like to remind you about the call highlight email. Einstein Call Coaching automatically sends the top 10 most interesting calls daily. These emails include information about the account or contact and key mentions, making sure you're not missing out on any important event from the last 24 hours. On our roadmap, we plan to allow managers to create collections of calls by separating them into different categories, like best price objection handling calls or best nurture calls. Let's see a demo. For a demo, let's start off in setup. I begin by making sure that the renewal custom insight has all the keywords we want to track, like promotion, discount, sale, and percent. I also want to make sure these keywords are detected only when they are set by the sales rep. Now let's jump to the dashboard. On this page, I have the ability to filter the data by rep name, date, and related record. Let's select a few accounts and contacts from the related record list. Today, I want to listen to calls made with one specific contact, so I'm going to pick this call. I can see that Hannah Young is the head of security at Nexa. And the first thing that pops out in the player is this challenge. Let's have a listen.
Not getting back sooner to you. I'm sorry. So my boss has actually been sick all week, and she's the decision maker, so I can't move forward without her.
After listening to this moment, we understand that Hannah needs to speak with her boss about the latest renewal quote, and she hasn't been able to reach a decision yet. This challenge was detected automatically, identifying a third-party authority issue. I can see the custom keyword promotion was also detected in the same conversation, and I decided to quickly listen to it.
The reason I wanted to follow up with you today is because that discount that I spoke to you about last week, the Labor Day promotion that we're running, that would give you 20% off that total cost of the year-long subscription, ends at the end of next week. So I just wanted to make sure that if you guys do move forward and sign up with us, that we make sure we get you that 20% discount.
Missy, the rep, was mentioning a 20% promotion, trying to move the deal forward. But there were a few other directions she could have taken the conversation that she was probably not aware of. Next, I can add a post in Chatter to make sure Missy has the latest information regarding our renewals policy, so she can incorporate that information into her next call. Finally, I want my entire team to align on our latest renewal strategy and listen to this call to learn more about the customer feedback. Let's go ahead and share this call with a few team members. With the best information at hand, the team will be able to be more productive and improve their win rates. That brings me to the end of my demo. I hope you liked what you saw, and with that, I'm going to turn it over to Gal.
Thanks, Rami. Hi, everyone. My name is Gal Gavish, and I'm a product manager with the Sales Cloud Einstein product team. Today, I'm going to talk to you about all the cool new enhancements that are part of Winter 21 release for Sales Cloud Einstein and Activity Capture. Sales organizations around the world are facing a massive disruption. Like everyone else, you're probably trying to adapt and transform to align to the ever-changing realities of today's market. We know that the challenges facing sales are feeling more acute than ever before. You may feel like you have less visibility than before, with your team being 100% remote, and struggling to make decisions with an incomplete view of the sales situation. As the SFA leader with 150,000 customers, we're seeing sales organizations around the world experiencing steep decline in pipeline, due to the economic uncertainties, and the stakes are high with every open opportunity becoming more valuable. And as a result, most sales leaders are finding that providing accurate forecast guidance is more difficult than ever, since you can't rely as much on the past to predict the future. Capturing and using customer and sales data to guide decisions has always been important, but it is more critical than ever before. At Salesforce, we believe that intelligence must fuel decision making and productivity because sales reps don't have time to process all the structured and unstructured information that they are inundated with. What if you could use artificial intelligence and automation to help them? After all, we're doing it today with certain consumer technologies, right? Have you ever seen your email client recommend a pre written response to an email you received? Or a social tool like Facebook recommend people you might connect with? Of course you have. These are examples of artificial intelligence and automation working in concert to help you see more of the important stuff and do more faster. If you put intelligence and automation together in a sales context, you would get actionable sales insights. You would be able to get the answers to important questions automatically, like how your team is performing based on engagement levels across every account, what to prioritize based on intelligence, like which leads have the highest potential or which opportunities is most likely to close. But how would you do that at scale across all your data to support your entire sales team no matter where they work? That's exactly what we're providing with Sales Cloud Einstein. Let's take a look at how Sales Cloud Einstein can infuse the entire sales cycle with intelligence. With Sales Cloud Einstein, the sales process has never been more intelligent. Sales reps can eliminate time wasted on poor leads or opportunities and focus on getting more productivity out of every minute. Sales managers and execs can understand their sales team's outlook and status faster than ever, with guidance on where to drill in and provide coaching. And sales ops can quickly and easily scale out the key operational reports and dashboards to different roles so everyone can make better decisions. At the front end of the sales cycle, capabilities like predictive lead scoring, recommended connections, and email insights help sales reps prioritize their time and effort around the most important leads with the best actions. As sales reps work deals, they receive account and opportunity insights to ensure they don't miss key signals and can take actions quickly if needed. Opportunities are also scored automatically, which means sales reps and managers can see when an important opportunity is on track or off track and prioritize the most important deals. More than 20 pre-built role-based dashboards are available, and they provide well more than 40 KPIs that are available with a few clicks. And predictive forecasting provides an objective outsider's view into where attainment will most likely land based upon historical trends. And that's not to mention all the other productivity enhancements that are available across the entire sales process with inbox, automatic data capture tools, and activity reporting capabilities. Sales Cloud Einstein is a turnkey intelligence solution that accelerates decision making and productivity at every stage of the sales cycle, from prospect to close, for salespeople at all levels. Let's take a look at a few key features and what we're delivering in Winter 21. Einstein Opportunity Scoring allows you to focus on the right deals at the right time by identifying opportunities that are more likely to close and understand which opportunities might be at risk. The positive and negative key factors help you understand what is driving the score up or down. In Winter 21, we're giving you more control over the data that Einstein considers. Decide which records to filter out and which fields to include in the model via setup. We're also adding a few new key factors that now rely on the combination of two fields to better explain the score. Einstein Lead Scoring allows you to easily prioritize leads based on their likelihood to convert. Similar to opportunity scoring, the positive and negative key factors help you understand the reasons behind the scores. And Lead Scoring Dashboard provides key insights into the factors impacting your conversion rate. In Winter 21, we're introducing global models, which deliver lead scores based on a model developed with aggregated anonymized data. Global models enable any customer, even a new one with no history, or a little one with a small amount of data, to leverage the benefits of your own personal data scientist and prioritize your leads with ease. Einstein Activity Capture allows you to automate activity logging so your sales reps can focus on building relationship with their customers rather than do tedious administrative work. In Winter 21, we're introducing a new email insight, Request Made, which allows reps to follow up on customer requests more easily and never drop the ball again. We're also providing a more flexible configuration with selective capture of emails, contacts, and events, and faster onboarding with admin-controlled authentication. Instead of waiting for end users to complete the setup themselves, admin can now control the entire setup for all users at once via OAuth 2, or for groups of users via service account over OAuth 2. Let's take a look at some of these new capabilities in action. Regina is a sales ops manager at a leading tire manufacturing company and has heard about the benefits of Einstein Opportunity Scoring. She knows that this feature can really help the sales team focus on the right deals and save time, but she also knows that they have a lot of fields on the opportunity object that are used for automation purposes that may not be helpful in the scoring model. She was also thinking that their partner channel opportunities are very different than the direct sales opportunities, and she wanted to focus the scoring model only on the direct sales channel. So she logs into Salesforce and goes to Setup. She navigates to the Assisted Setup page under Einstein Sales and then into Einstein Opportunity Scoring Setup. She opens the Setup wizard and sees this is exactly what she needed. She clicks Next to get started, and here she can choose to focus only on the direct sales opportunities. She selects the relevant option and moves forward. Regina sets up the criteria to ignore opportunities that come from the partner channel and moves on. In the next screen, she sees that she can also exclude certain fields, exactly what she was thinking. So she selects that option and moves to the next screen. Regina unchecks several fields that are used only for automation and tracking purposes, so they are not included in the scoring model, and moves on. She verifies that everything looks good and tells Einstein to start training the model with the new configuration. Regina knows that it will take Einstein a few hours to process all the data in the org, so she can tackle the next task on her list and come back here tomorrow to see the results. While Regina is waiting for Einstein to finish, let's take a quick look at our roadmap. Similarly to lead scoring, we're planning to provide a global model for opportunity scoring as well, so smaller or newer organizations can enjoy the benefits of AI. Since we introduced Einstein Opportunity Scoring as part of a Sales Cloud base license, many of you told us that you would like to test this feature in Sandbox first, before enabling it in production. Although it's best to evaluate the performance of the model and accuracy of the score on production data, which is live and most accurate, we understand that you also want to test the impact of the score on the user experience and your workflows and automations. So we're planning to add Sandbox support. Since many customers have more than one type of opportunity or lead, we realize that one model for all records may not benefit all users. So we're working on allowing you to split your data and build separate scoring models for each segment. Lastly, we're also planning to support Einstein forecasting when you're using a custom fiscal year. On the activity capture front, we're planning to provide enhanced reporting capabilities, faster sync speed, profile-based rollout, and more privacy controls. Lastly, we want to help you use EAC more easily, so we're working on migration tool from Lightning Sync. Thank you everyone for joining me to hear all about the Sales Cloud Einstein and Activity Capture new features. Back to you, Elna.
All right, so thanks for that great varied presentation. Now we are ready to start taking your questions. So we're just going to dive straight in, and feel free to keep asking questions as we go. We'll probably got about 20 minutes left, so let's go ahead and start. So I've got one question for you, Karen, to start with. Love the deal motion. It's really cool, but why is it unlimited edition only? I know a lot of folks out there don't have that edition.
Yeah, I know that's going to be a popular question. It's definitely a cool feature. We wanted to gather feedback on how this feature is working for customers and whether we need to make any changes, because we're evaluating whether we want to release similar features in future releases. So for now, we're keeping it to kind of a small subset of customers. we're going to get that feedback. And then in the next couple of releases, we're going to be hopefully bringing you more functionality like this.
Cool. Yeah. What's interesting is how the direction of the feature could actually change based on the feedback that you get, right? So
exactly.
Like fully baking it for everybody, may not turn out to be the ideal. So it's good to get feedback along the way. And then you have the flexibility to get to really respond to those preferences. Love that. So I think this is for Rebecca. In HVS, how can I report on overdue steps if they have been paused?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we actually defined the pause feature so that it kind of puts a pin in the place where the person stopped the cadence. So a lot of people use the reports to track whether or not steps were completed on time or if they were completed, past their due date. So the way that the pause feature works, it's got a counter that's always going. And so if you pause it and your step is overdue, it's definitely going to keep the fact that the step was overdue when you unpause it and complete it. So you won't lose any of that compliance detail. It's just literally a pause and a resume exactly where you were in terms of completing the step.
That's good. So it's not a way to get around a due date.
Exactly.
Put that on hold for now. Yeah. Okay, so this one's for Rami. As a sales manager, can I share calls with anyone on my team?
Yes, of course. You can share the call with anyone on your team, and not only on your team, you can share with anyone who has an HVS license in the entire team. So for example, if you have like a great call with a great objection handling, and you want to share that as an example for other reps to learn from, this is entirely possible by sharing it individually with the relevant users. Nice.
So here's one for Gal. So with opportunity scoring, and some other features of Sales Cloud Einstein, some folks have talked about how some features are available with Sales Cloud and others require the Sales Cloud Einstein license. So what about opportunity scoring? Is it a part of Sales Cloud? And if so, how can we get access?
Yeah, that's a great question. So yes, opportunity scoring was part of the Einstein Sales Cloud Einstein add-on before. We took it out and made it available to all of our Sales Cloud users. And if you still don't have access, please talk to your account executive or reach out to Salesforce via customer support and we'll give you access.
How would you be able to check to see if you have it? Is there something in the setup that you would need to look for, or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great question. So if you go to setup and you can find the assisted setup page under Einstein Sales, then it means you have access and you can start using the feature. If you cannot find this page, again, reach out to your account executive or to customer support.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so we have a question from Mike about MS Team integration. Wants to know, does that also work with custom objects? And our second part of his question is, are @mentions also logged in Chatter for the mentioned record?
Yeah, so I'll probably have to defer to the product manager who owns that feature, so we can follow up later.
Okay.
I know that it supports some of the main standard objects, cases, accounts, opportunities, contacts, and leads, but we'll have to check whether it also supports custom objects.
Gotcha. And here's from Terry. Is list email an out-of-the-box feature, or is it extra?
I believe list email is an out-of-the-box feature.
With Sales Cloud, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the send later option, does that require an inbox license, or is that a core Sales Cloud feature?
Yeah, that does not require an inbox license. So the feature that did require an inbox license is insert availability. And I'm sorry if that was confusing to anyone, but yeah, the send later does not.
Cool. It's one of my favorite features because, like, what if you decide at 5 p.m. that you forgot to email somebody and they're 6 hours ahead of you and you want the email to show up, the next morning, but you don't want to, you're going to forget to send it tomorrow morning. So
yeah,
I love that
happens
feature.
To me all the time.
Yeah, totally. So, here's another one from Barry. Will the admin be able to turn off the ability to manually add a territory to an opportunity?
Yeah, so the territory field would just be controlled by your page layout and your field security settings. So you could remove it from the layout for specific users or make it read-only for specific users, and that would lock it down.
Okay, great question. So from Andre wants to know, is Einstein call coaching available in other languages like Portuguese?
That's a great question. At the moment, Einstein Call Coaching is available in North American English only, but it's definitely on our roadmap for 2021 to add Portuguese and many other languages.
Great, thank you. Cindy wanted to know, how does the recommended connections work? Do we need a special license for that?
I can try to take it. I think recommended connections is part of Inbox. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is part of Inbox. And the way it works, it just scours communication across the organization to try to find relationships, kind of like a LinkedIn in a way.
So Cindy, we can double check for you to see if it requires an Inbox license, and we'll respond to you wherever you posted your question. And Cindy also wanted to know if she can set up a list view to see all leads and contacts based on request made. So I guess if you've made they've made a request based on an email, or they've responded.
Yeah, I think she's talking about the insight requests made. So I believe it is possible to report on different kind of insights, but we'll have to follow up with Sydney's question offline with the right person.
Next question from Karen. When sending available times in an email, what if a different meeting gets scheduled in the meantime after you send the email? Will it remove it from the email or alert, or will it alert the recipient that if they choose that time, it's no longer available?
Yeah, I believe it will update based on the event owner's availability. It's not going to pull from every attendee's calendar, but if the event owner gets a conflict, that'll update the available times for the recipient.
Nice. So Emma had a great question, which I actually think I can answer, which is, if we have customized our org, will we be receiving the Winter 21 release? And the answer is yes. Everybody gets Winter 21, no matter how customized your org is. It's everybody's all on the same release at all times, and except when we're in the middle of deploying it. So there are different dates depending on which instance you're on, and sometimes if you have a preview sandbox, you might see it in your sandbox first. But yes, you will be getting it, and you can look on trust.salesforce.com for the date and time that it will be deployed to your specific org. Question from Melita. Is Einstein included in the Enterprise Edition, or is an additional module that you need to get?
I think she might be referring to Einstein Opportunity Scoring. So Einstein Opportunity Scoring is included with Enterprise and Unlimited editions of Sales Cloud. All the other Einstein features that are part of the Sales Cloud Einstein add-on are paid features.
Thanks. Wahiba asked for Karen, is there any setup needed on user permissions or page layout for the deal motion feature?
Yeah, so it's actually on by default for list views and Kanban. So as long as the opportunity amount and close date fields are in those layouts, it'll be visible to users. And then if you want to turn it off, you can go to setup and turn off the signals under your opportunity settings.
And is that a user preference, or does the admin turn it off?
Turning it off would be an org-wide preference.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Brandon wanted to know, with call coaching in HVS, is that only available if you're using the built-in Salesforce CTI, or would it work with a third-party CTI?
Yes, so it's seamlessly integrated with Lightning Dialer, of course, but we do have an API, and you can plug in basically every CTI. So if you're using any, like Invoice Media 8x8, you can just use the call coaching API to push your calls in, or work with one of our partners, Tenfold or Redbox, which provide also out-of-the-box integration with a very wide range of CTI providers.
Gotcha. Okay, another question for Karen. What happened with opportunity product lookups in winter 21?
Yeah, that one's a little bit of a bummer. I mean, generally, we wouldn't announce something that's not going to be released if we're not planning to release it. Unfortunately, we discovered an issue with that feature very, very close to the end of the release. So we had to pull it out. We wanted to maintain trust and deliver you a high quality feature. So we're working really hard to bring that to you in the spring release. And the product manager for that feature has given a really detailed explanation of what happened and what we're planning to do on the success community on the idea. So you can go check that out if you want more information.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Can I see forecasts in iOS, and will I be able to adjust forecasts on mobile?
Yeah, so you can view forecasts in iOS today. That's already supported. We added Android support in the winter release. And then the next thing on our roadmap is for you to be able to adjust forecasts in Android and iOS.
Excellent. And now another HBS question. How are the all-time engagement metrics different from the totals that we already have?
Yeah, that's a good one. So we brought you the total engagement metrics a while ago. But behind the scenes, we actually did some reworking because when you have your engagements coming in, they're subject to a time to live window, which is typically 2 years. So that data, the actual engagements themselves are only stored for about 2 years, but we want to make sure that the counts of those engagements persist in your reports so that you can get a true all-time metric, if that makes sense. So the way that we have aggregated those up, it kind of rolls up on a monthly basis. And then the numbers that you're going to see in your core reports are the true all-time metrics, even if those engagements are, beyond 2 years old and maybe not in the system anymore.
Wow, so the data could be deleted, but it's still being counted, is what you're saying. Wow, that's really cool. So what about out of office alerts? Would they be counted as replies?
No, we get that question a lot. We are actually able to separate them. So if we recognize something as an out of office reply, we'll keep it out of your actual email reply account. So you'll really know the difference between something that's automated, I'm out of the office, versus a true reply from a prospect.
I'm assuming bounce backs would also be handled in a similar way.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. Same thing for bounce.
Gotcha. And then can you elaborate more on the dashboard filtering options that you talked about? I think that was for Rami.
Yes, the dashboard filtering in Einstein Call Coaching allows you to drill down to every piece of data. Like you can capture like all the calls by rep, by date, and also by related record, like we showed in the demo, contact, account, and person account. Plus, you can also drill down to any keyword or insight. So that allows you to do a lot of things and really capture what is interesting in the calls, if it's a specific challenge or a specific competitor mention, listen to that relevant call and provide the input and the feedback using Chatter.
And I think this one is for Gal also. Is there anything else in Einstein that's included? You mentioned opportunity scoring, but is there anything else that customers would get along with Sales Cloud?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So you have access to activity capture. All Sales Cloud customers have 100 licenses of standard activity capture, so they can start using it and enjoy the automated process. We have a pilot with Einstein Search that customers can use. They have one prediction with Prediction Builder. They can create and publish. They can create multiple predictions, but they can publish one predictions to their users. So they can start experimenting with Einstein today and see if it helps their business. And there are so many more other Einstein options across the cloud and across our platform to enjoy.
Great, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, we actually did a Lightning Lounge webinar not too long ago about Einstein Search, and we have a recording of it. So if anybody's interested in learning more about Einstein Search and also some of the other features, just let us know in the community and I can give you the link to the recording. How do I know if my org is using lead scoring global models?
That's a wonderful question. So right now, there's no way to know for sure. You can run the Einstein Readiness Assessor to see if your org is ready for Einstein, if there's enough data for leads, opportunities, forecasting, and everything else. And if you get back a result that you don't have enough leads, for example, but you're still using lead scoring, that's a good hint that you're probably using global models for lead scoring.
So, you know, there's been a lot of talk and maybe a little bit of confusion about all the different email integration tools and syncing and between Salesforce for Outlook, Lightning Sync, activity capture. So Squire was asking what a lot of customers have also asked, you know, how can you wrap your head around what tools people should be looking at now for the near future, for that type of functionality? Where is it going? You know, what should they be learning about today? And where do you think, can you share a little bit about where all that feature set is going in the future?
I'll try to answer that question. I think I would probably let the PM for this to answer more detail back to the person who was asking the question. But in general, we're moving towards activity capture, automated capture of activities. As I mentioned, we're building an easy to use migration tool in the future, so you can move over from Lightning Sync to activity capture very easily. In terms of which plugin to use, we made it really easy about a year ago, I think, to just go look for Salesforce, whether you're using Outlook or Gmail or whatever else, just look for Salesforce, and that's the only plugin that you should be using.
Gotcha. So does activity capture basically do all the things that Lightning Sync does in terms of contacts and events and things like that?
That's a wonderful question. I believe the answer is not right now, and that's why we're building all those new capabilities as part of our roadmap. But in terms of actual differences, I would let the PM that owns the feature follow up on that question.
Okay, yeah, I think it's an area that we do want to provide, you know, more clarity on, just personally, because I've seen a lot of, you know, a lot of questions about it, and knowing kind of what to do today. I think there may be some folks who can switch to activity capture today, depending on what their needs are, and others may want to do kind of a hybrid solution for now, but it sounds like moving to activity capture either way would be a good idea, and start, you know, experimenting with it and play with it and see if it can meet at least some of your needs now. But can you use both at the same time, or do you have to either do one or the other?
I believe you can. I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to say yes or no with certainty, so I will follow up on that question.
Okay, gotcha. Thanks.
Yeah.
And then Robin, so she was attending the admin preview on Friday, and they talked about availability scheduler and in Lightning email, and wanted to know what are the differences between the standard feature in Sales Cloud versus Inbox? Does Inbox have additional functionality with respect to that type of feature?
The insert availability feature?
I think it's the availability scheduler, which I guess it is, yeah, insert availability.
As far as I know, that feature does require an inbox license, but we can also loop in the PM for that feature, and maybe they can add more clarity.
Gotcha. And Jen, okay, a couple people want the link to the Einstein Search webinar, so I'll definitely get you that. And then Christy was just giving us a little bit of feedback that she loves the colors and symbols for opportunities in motion, and that's going to be a quick win. So thanks for sharing that, Christy. So I think we are at pretty much at done all the questions for today. It's pretty good timing. We have about 1 minute left. So thanks everybody for all your questions. Thanks to all the panelists for answering. And, you know, if you have another question that we didn't get to, or you think of one later, just post it in the community. We'll follow up with you. Thanks everybody for joining us. And, you know, we're just getting started this week. This is our first session. We got 9 more sessions this week. So come back 11 a.m. Pacific. We've got Einstein Analytics and lots more Winter 21 goodness for the rest of the week. So definitely come back. And also just a reminder, we are recording all these sessions. They will be available on the Salesforce Live website for later viewing. Probably within a day or two, we'll have those recordings up after each broadcast. And I can't wait to hear how you're innovating with new features. So let's continue the conversation in the Release Readiness Trailblazers community, where all Trailblazers meet to be release ready.